Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Wars Battlefront II Modded. In today's episode, we're actually going to tackle two different maps today, both by the same author. We're going to go ahead and tackle the Coruscant City map and the Coruscant Streets map. Both of them are created by Renz, the same author who created the previous map we took a look at, which was Mos Eisley Spaceport. These maps were originally made for the original Battlefront 1, and they include a lot of well-known locations from the prequel movies, specifically Episode 1 and 2. Don't think there's really anything from Episode 3 because these were made for the original Battlefront 1. Therefore, you know, Episode 3 wasn't even out yet when these maps were being made. But yeah, a lot of iconic locations here, and we'll try to take a look at a lot of them. The area we just came out of, I don't believe is something that, you know, is really in the movies, unless I'm mistaken. But the area up there that the Empire controls is actually Padmé's apartment. We've also got the Senate, Palpatine's office, and a couple other places that you'll probably recognize. And we're actually playing as the Rebels. I think this is the first time I've played as the Rebels so far, because I haven't really gotten a chance to show them off yet. So yeah, let's go ahead and take this command post, and we'll go ahead and play as Han Solo, see if we can go ahead and capture Padmé's apartment over there. Yeah, I don't think I've got a chance to show off Han Solo. His blaster pistol is kind of like a burst fire kind of weapon, and if you manage to hit all the shots, it's a one-hit kill. So yeah, we're heading up this way to capture this command post, and then after that I'm going to try and head down to the Senate building, which is also Palpatine's office. You can't actually get into the actual Senate chamber, you know, that big open round area where all the little pods that fly around and all that kind of stuff. You can't get into that area. It's not actually modeled, it's literally just Palpatine's office. It looks like the Senate building on the outside, but the only thing you can get into is Palpatine's office in there. So, but yeah, we'll head back that way as soon as we can get in here. It looks like we're actually taking quite a few command posts, so that's why we're running into so much resistance up here. Luckily, I have team kill off, so I can just go ahead and drop det packs. Let's just run in here. If we die, that's okay. I just wanted to show off Padmé's apartment. Some of these models have kind of low-res textures, but I kind of chalk that up to this being Renz, the modder who made this maps, one of his first maps that he, you know, custom modeled for, as far as I know. So yeah, he was still getting used to it. Obviously, the map I played previously, the Mos Eisley Spaceport map, is much more detailed. But yeah, we still have lots of background details and that kind of stuff. You can see a lot of ships flying around, the usual Coruscant traffic and all of that. So anyways, heading up this way, and now we're going to head back to the other side of the map, and we might die along the way. Yeah, nobody killed me, but I did run out of hero health at that point in time. So we can actually go ahead and spawn back here in the Senate chamber, and this is actually Palpatine's office right here. There is a map that is... There's a map that is Palpatine's office, like the entire map is Palpatine's office, and we might take a look at that at some point in time a little bit later. Anyways, this is the Wookiee. He's got the mortar launcher just like a whole bunch of other units do. If we can aim it properly, we can kill this stormtrooper over here. Maybe not. And he's also got a bowcaster. It'll fire like a spread shot, almost like a shotgun, but if you charge it up, it'll fire a single shot. So if I charge it up like this, it's just going to fire one shot, which will be a one-hit kill. It basically does as much damage as the 5 shots you would fire normally. If you don't get what I'm saying, I kind of mean, you know, it shoots like this, but if you charge it up, then all that power will be in one little blast. So anyways, yeah, there's a big ship right here that has a really low-res texture, so that doesn't look too good. But yeah, it is a pretty nice map. And over there, if you can see it, that's actually the tunnel that Anakin and Obi-Wan went through on their speeder during the chase in Episode 2. You can fly through that, but I don't have my controller plugged in at the moment. And that's really the only thing you need to really show off, that I need to show off in the area, you know, that you fly around in. So I'm not going to bother with that. I mean, you can see the tunnel from here. There's not really much in there. And yeah, other than that, there's not really anything out there that's worth taking a look at. So yeah, I think we've covered a lot of the major locations in the map. There's an area in here that I'm not sure what it represents because it's not something I've seen in the movies, but we can go ahead and run in there and see what's in there. But yeah, it's not the Senate chamber. It kind of looks a little bit like it, maybe, but I'm almost certain it's not supposed to be the Senate chamber. So we'll head in there, take a look at it, and try and capture that command post up there. And there's some issues with the audio for some reason. It seems to be acting a little funny. Alright, so let's go ahead and capture this command post up here. Pretty easy to capture this one because all you have to do is sit on this platform right here and take out anybody on the sides. And they only have one way to get to you, basically. Of course, when I'm crouching as a Wookiee, it's really hard to see around, because the Wookiee is fairly large. And that Bothan spy over there is not really helping much. Oops, didn't mean to throw a grenade. In the, like all the officer classes, the Wookiee does have the recon droid as well. In online matches, those can actually be really, really annoying, because you can use them and like sneak into areas and then self-destruct, which is like an instant kill on just about every unit. So if you manage to sneak one in, they are really frail, so just like a couple shots will kill one. But you can sneak one into an area with a lot of enemies and get quite a few kills that way. Basically what you'll end up doing is parking your officer class at an ammo droid and then just repeatedly sending in recon droids. So you have no risk of dying unless people get all the way behind the lines and get to find you. But you do rack up quite a few kills that way. Anyway, so it seems like the reinforcement count was actually raised for this map to make it a bit of a longer map mission. So we may end up cutting to the end of the mission here because I showed off just about everything in the map. And yeah, after this we'll be going into Coruscant Streets, which is a nighttime version of the, or not a nighttime version, but a nighttime map that kind of goes into the Undercity, the darker areas of Coruscant. So let's go ahead and cut until we get to that. Alright, so we're almost done with the mission here. We got one more reinforcement count to take out. And he's probably flying around, he's probably going to end up crashing and dying. That's probably how we're going to win this match. So yeah, I don't feel like I really need to show the entire mission because it is kind of repetitive. Basically just running around trying to find the last few units and capture the last few command posts. I really just wanted to make sure to show off, you know, the map in its entirety. And some maps do raise the reinforcement count so that battles end up going on a bit longer. And I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time, you know, doing all that, so... Yeah, now we're going on to Coruscant Streets, which is a nighttime map that takes place in the underside of Coruscant. Here we have the bar, I believe, where Anakin and Obi-Wan went into to track down Zam Wessel in Episode 2. And we also got a tank, so let's go ahead and jump in that. That'll make things a lot easier. And yeah, the reinforcement count, for some reason, again, is ridiculously high. There aren't any more units than usual. These maps are about the same size as a stock map. One of the default maps in the game, but for some reason the reinforcement counts got blasted to way up high for some reason. So yeah, we'll probably won't show off the entire map again because, I mean, we'll show off the entire map, but we won't run for the entire duration of the conquest match because that would take way too long, and it just get a bit annoying. Some of these buildings just kind of seem like filler buildings, though. I mean, look at this building. Like, what is supposed to go on in this building here? I mean, you've got clear floors and you've got nothing in here. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's nice to have a lot of custom models and a lot of custom buildings to go explore, but I just kind of don't really get what the point of that building really is. Like, what do you do in this building that has nothing in it except, you know, a couple ramps and such? Anyways, let's go and play into General Grievous and spawn at the command post we just captured there. General Grievous is, in bigger maps, General Grievous is not very good because he doesn't have any ranged attacks. He can use a buff on his allies to increase the damage they end up doing, but and he also doesn't have Jedi jump, so he's a bit harder to get around the map. But in a one-on-one lightsaber duel with a Jedi, he's gonna win like most of the time because he just, you know, has more lightsabers and does more damage. But for the most part, he can be a difficult, you know, hero to use because he's really got no options in terms of ranged attacks. In multiplayer games, General Grievous is the worst villain to play as. Because people can just drop mines and you have no way to get to them because you don't have any ranged ability at all. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. He really is kind of the worst villain. I mean, he's a cool guy. General Grievous is pretty cool, I suppose. But yeah, he's not that good as far as villains go, in all honesty. And it looks like we're capturing quite a few command posts here. Let's go ahead and explore some of these areas all around here. Yeah, like I said, a lot of these buildings are kind of empty. And that building looks a lot like one of the buildings we were in on the Mos Eisley map, except reskinned. That's a possibility. These crates definitely look familiar. Those are the same crates that Ren's used in later maps as well, because they are kind of universal crates. And a lot of times when you're trying to make, you know, a mod map and you need to fill some space, you just throw crates in, you know. You need some cover, throw some crates in, you know. You want a space to look a lot less empty, drop some crates, you know. It's like crates are like the go-to object. Like, I know I use them a lot when I made maps. Just a lot of crates. And also, I think the unit count is actually higher because there's a ton of clones up here. But all these clones are all kind of like hanging out up there, and they don't seem to be able to get down, which is kind of funny. So we might actually win this map kind of early because all the clones are getting stuck up there, and they don't seem to be able to get down to capture more command posts. So there is a drop to your death if you go down any of these, and we should be able to capture the last command post over here. And I guess some of them are getting out, but it seems like there's kind of an issue where it seems like they don't seem to be able to path down to get out of there. So there's a lot of them stuck up there that aren't going to respawn in the rest of the map, and I did not mean to do that. Let's go ahead and capture this command post. I dropped down an auto turret to help defend it, and we got a couple allies coming up. But yeah, they're not taking back any command posts. They're not really pushing back at us. So it looks like a couple of our guys are going to go capture that command post, and that'll be the end of this map. It was a kind of short one, but yeah, this is why I wanted to go ahead and show off 2 maps in one video, because I mean, I could show off other game modes, but a lot of maps don't really focus on much other than the Conquest game mode. You know, because a lot of maps out there, you know, they don't put a lot of effort into, you know, like capture the flag kind of game modes and stuff like that. A lot of maps do have those game modes, but they don't put much emphasis on them, so they're not, you know, as well polished as the Conquest mode. So this might be something we do in the future. We might just go in and do several maps at once. And we're getting hit by a lot of guys. Let's see if we can drop a couple rockets in here and blow a couple guys up. And there we go. There's the end of that mission. That was quick. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Next episode, we might go back into some big mods again. I think that could be fun. We did a couple of single maps. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode of Star Wars Battlefront II Modded.